Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris. I'm a veteran with a disability rating. I'm a prior veteran service officer, and I'm a current VA claim trader. I want to talk a little bit today about TDIU, or individual unemployability. I'm gaining a little bit more experience rating those, so I feel like I can say something a little bit more intelligent than I would have, say, two months ago. You can look a lot of this stuff up online if you're interested in what TDIU is. I'm just going to give you the thumbnail and then talk a little bit about my rating criteria and what we look for in rating that. So obviously the criteria is you need to have at least one condition that's 60% or higher, or you need to have a combined rating of 70% or higher, with one of those being 40%. So you can double check that all online in case I misspoke. What TDIU is for veterans that are trying to demonstrate to the VA that because of their service-connected conditions, they're unable to have substantial gainful employment. Now, the way the VA interprets substantial gainful employment is basically full-time work that's over the poverty threshold. So let's say you've been stuck at 70% or 80% for years and you've been retired, and you think because of your age and retirement, the VA really wouldn't consider you to bump you up to that 100% TDIU. Well, that's not true. Age and retirement really are irrelevant to us when it comes to rating IU. What we look at is whether or not your service-connected conditions are keeping you from employment, substantial gainful employment, if you so desired that. You could be 80 years old and decide to go back to work. So the way that you demonstrate that to the VA is you file what's called an 8940. I mean, you can put it on your 526EZ, but we're going to ask for that 8940 because even that claim application alone would trigger all the bells and whistles to start a claim for you. So let's say you submit that 8940, which is your IU form, and on it you say, hey, it's my PTSD and it's my hearing loss that are keeping me, just as a for instance, from work. Well, let's say you have 10 other things that are wrong, stage 3, COPD, and you've got a whole host of things that are wrong. Well, that doesn't necessarily keep us from evaluating, and it's not in any way going to count against you. But what the examiner is going to want to see is that those conditions are truly what's keeping you from that substantial gainful employment. Because of what's keeping you from that employment is actually non-service connected conditions, then you're not going to get IU. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try and you shouldn't file if you feel like you should be at 100% for that. What IU gets you in most cases is basic eligibility for Chapter 35, which is permanent and total. So even though you might be rated IU, often those conditions aren't going to improve, and it's like you kind of get moved into the P&T category. So that's kind of a big thing for you guys that have been at 70 or 80 a long time and you're older, and it's really your service-connected conditions which are keeping you from work. So when you go to the medical examiner, he's going to be asked by the rater to give us specific information, what's called employment impact assessment. And on that employment impact assessments, they're basically answering simple questions that state whether or not, that help us make the legal determination for whether or not it's your service-connected conditions which are truly keeping you from work. Now, if we see that you have difficulty maintaining concentration, that your sleep, let's say, is perpetually difficult so that you have a lot of daytime fatigue, if there's not significant difficulties found, you're likely not going to get IU. So that's how IU works. It's just another option out there for you guys that aren't at 100%, but feel like because of your service-connected conditions, you should be paid at the 100% level. Think about it, do a little homework on it. Google is your friend on this, but see what you think, and feel free to leave some comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. I do my best to answer all the comments, guys, and if you have future suggestions for the channel for what kind of content you like, understand some of that stuff I could speak as a prior VSO and bore you all day long with the same stuff that's on other channels, but I try to give you the insights as a rater that might help you. Y'all take care.